it strikes me that when we have a genuine connection with the unexplained, usually it's when our minds are detached from reality.
And it was just a disc. It was a white disc, it wasn't bright.
We turned round and we went back and everything was normal. Just incredible, really, that it happened to us.
Good morning, everyone. From an absolutely beautiful day here in East Yorkshire. Well, here in Danesdyke to be exact. And me and the Bobster, I'm just going to have a little walk and talk and share this incredible journey with you guys. Just look at that. Good reasons to be alive, don't you think? And it's absolutely incredible. It's carpeted, absolutely carpeted with wild garlic. And let's just forget about unexplained phenomena for a moment. I just want to kind of describe the smell, if you've never smelt this in a woodland or a woodland setting, because it's absolutely incredible and it's unique. It's obviously, we all know what garlic smells like, but to smell it, you know, out in the open, like we're doing now, it's something else. It really is good. It's one of those things you either love or you hate. It's a bit like celery. It tastes unique. You either love it or you hate it, or olives. And in this case, wild garlic. What do you think? Superb. It really is nature at its finest. But in a moment we're going to talk about connecting with another type of nature. The nature of UFOs and unexplained phenomena. And whether we're all right, ultimately. And connecting with these unknown others, these other intelligences, is just a state of mind. We'll kick that about. Okay, guys. Okay, we'll just stop and have a minute and just contemplate the nature of what it is that we're dealing with when it comes to the unexplained. And as I always say, let's throw that net out wide, far and wide. And do you think ultimately that a person's perception of the unexplained is shaped by the experience that they have? And it's their actual mindset at the time that determines the shape of the experience, determines what type of phenomena it almost manifests into. So how, in a way, are we creating these scenarios? And if we go into a situation with dark thoughts, is the outcome somehow sinister and frightening? And if we go into a situation and think things are of a more happy, I don't know, almost angelic type nature, then that's the kind of interaction that we'll get. I'm just kicking these ideas about. Are we shaping the phenomena? And we've got all these ideas about contact, CE5 and other names that people are throwing about which are current today. I know, what do you think to that? It's no good looking at me like that. It's probably this garlic's driving him nuts. CE5 and other names that seem current today, but has anything changed? It strikes me that when we have a genuine connection with the unexplained, usually it's when our minds are detached from reality. What do I mean by that? I kind of quote the subtitle of my second book, Truth Proof, too many times, Beyond the Thinking Mind. Because it's almost as though we've got to detach our mind in order to connect with this unknown other. How many times do we hear a person say, I weren't really thinking about anything, I weren't really concentrating on anything, and then suddenly they're immersed in this situation.
Tim and I had gone to Bempton for a walk, basically, and to just experience the seabirds. And we were walking along the cliff top. I was in front and Tim was behind me. And all of a sudden, everything just went silent. There was nothing. We couldn't hear anything. I couldn't feel anything. It was just like being put into a glass bubble. You know, we could see everything, but it was just that initial not feeling, not hearing anything.
Did you retrace your steps to see if it would replicate?
Yes, we did. Yeah. We turned round and we went back and everything was normal. Just incredible, really, that it happened to us. If that's what a portal is, then perhaps we did enter it.
Are these thoughts that we're firing out into the ether, the thoughts that I'm sort of firing out now verbally and through the thought process, are they missing the target completely? Do we need to adopt methods such as CE5 and adopt some deep meditative state to connect? Would that aid the connection? Perhaps it would. So just imagine walking along the cliff tops on your own, light similar to this but a bit of mist, and looking over there where my hand is, and without any warning a white disc lights up.
And as I approached the seat, I looked over. I saw something out of the corner of my eye on the right hand side, and I looked over, and there was it was probably there for a second, but just on the edge of the mist, so it was probably about 50 yards away.
Right.
Actually on the ground, so it wasn't in the air, it was on the ground. And it was just a disc. It was a white disc, it wasn't bright.
Did it surprise you?
Yeah.
And it didn't frighten you at all, did it?
No, not at all.
Does it give the phenomena access to our mind, or does it give our mind access to this outer realm that seems so closed down in today's society? You know, we think that we're making great advances in connecting and understanding the phenomena, and it's possible that ancient man, I wouldn't say we're far more advanced, they were just in touch with the real. Look at these surroundings, look where we are today, it's just incredible. And this is the reality of life. I mean, we're far too tied up in the trappings of everything to think about connecting with nature. Maybe we have to connect to nature and get back to nature and the true essence of what being alive is about. Everybody's just glued to the phones. I'm talking to a camera now, which is going to be put into some kind of editing program and then kicked out and put onto YouTube, and people are going to be watching that. I'd like to think that people are going to take something from it, and even if you think it's a load of rubbish, at least you've took something from it. But do we need to connect with the phenomena via meditation, via CE5? Maybe we just need to be out amongst it in order to feel the true essence of what it is that we're dealing with. Do you think the intelligence is aware of us at all times? I think it probably is. I wonder if there's certain elements of the unexplained all around us now that are just out of sight, just out of touch, because we're not in that correct mindset to connect with these things. You know, it strikes me when we go up onto the cliff tops, Speeton, Bempton, up into the forests of North Yorkshire, wanting to see, wanting to connect. It rarely happens. It's usually when we're least... That fly's annoying. It's usually when we're least expecting it. From what I can see, and the people that have contacted me, and my own experience, once you've established some kind of connection with the unknown, be it, if people want to call them aliens, beings of unknown origin or something other, give up Bob, you seem more susceptible to connecting with it. Is that simply a belief system? Is that as simple as just believing? You go from, I believe in aliens, I believe in creatures such as Bigfoot, to, no, I don't believe anymore, I actually know because I've seen and I've experienced myself. You know, I don't think there's a right or a wrong answer. And what about this word that everybody's been talking about for decades and decades and decades, disclosure? And are we any closer to disclosure? Revealing the true nature of what it is that's interacting with human beings. Do you know, I'm not sure that disclosure's going to happen, because I think it's already happening. I think it's unfolding around us all of the time. And it's just that we're becoming conditioned to the condition. It's in films, it's in movies, it's in children's books, adult books. Everywhere you look, there's some hint of an intelligence that's outside of everything that we know as human beings. Are we going back that way? Are we actually going back to earlier times and connecting with it? Are we learning that in order to establish contact with beings of unknown origin, we've got to kind of strip back to the bare essentials in life? You hear of people fasting, you hear of people going into deep meditative states and isolating themselves, and in those conditions the connections are made. You know, people of God choose prayer, and through prayer they claim that they connect with the Spirit, the Holy Spirit. And no disrespect to the people who've devoted their lives to such a discipline, but who's to say that what they're devoting their life to is not the exact same thing that we're seeing and experiencing to some degree? Some people might be offended by that, and that's not my intention. But I just wonder what it is we're dealing with. So just a few thoughts to kick about. Are we shaping the outcome ultimately of our own interaction, our own connection with this unexplained phenomena? Perhaps we are. Come on, this way.